All right, let's jump right back in where we left off, where we were, I guess, exploring these underground ruins or something. Something along those lines, these alien ruins, on our mission. Okay. These weren't tunnels, they were corridors. And they were saying it went under the entire continent. They were clearly pre-colonization, and more than that, the inscriptions on these walls. These weren't made by the Thalassans. The style of architecture is completely different. Is it possible these are Aryan? Did I read about? Yeah, I think I read about this already. Okay. Every single thought about rebellions and experiments, and Gina and Trent, had completely flown from my head. Morgan, stay focused. We gotta save human beings right now, okay? The Aryans. We knew next to nothing about them beyond that they were far more advanced than other civilizations humanity had encountered. How is no one studying this place? Well, from what they said, it's really dangerous. Or have there been studies done? Are they classified? Does Endgame have access to them? I was dimly aware that Caleb looked extremely annoyed, but I couldn't help it. I never once imagined I'd be able to be in a place like this. Aryan technology existed in remnants on the surface, relics of a culture we knew nothing about. Those didn't interest me much. But still, being in a place like this was incredible. I can understand your interest in this place, Morgan, but now isn't the time. Oh my gosh, he looks so exhausted. I sighed, rubbing my head as I tried to focus. Right. Serious mission. Okay, I will try to reserve questions for later. But still. I can't believe this place isn't packed with teams down here trying to study it. These walls are covered in inscriptions. There are people who spent their entire lives trying to construct a theoretical proto-language from the few relics that have been safely acquired by the government. You think they aren't being studied? Or that we don't have teams down here? Oh, really? But people learned early on to be careful about poking around in this place. Like you said, the same people that made it are responsible for the relics, and you should be aware how dangerous those things are. Their technology is so advanced, we have no idea how the hell any of it works. Doesn't make you want to poke around in it, does it? Yes, it does. That's exactly what it makes me want to do. I swear to God, okay, I love the majority of Morgan's character. Like, she's strong-willed, she speaks her mind, she's assertive, she has goals, all great things. But it's like she sees a danger sign and she runs straight for it. Morgan. I know. I'm trying. It wasn't like I could just turn off the curiosity. I just had to focus on why we were here. Though I didn't want to. Because I'd much rather be cataloging inscriptions or poking around, not searching for traitors and terrorists. That little sick feeling in the pit of my stomach returned. But, of course, that's what I was here to do. The place was dead quiet, except our footsteps as we walked. Well, that wasn't quite right. There was a low hum like running machinery or something. I wasn't really aware of it at first, but it was just ever present in the background. I wondered where we were heading, or how they even knew their way around. What if we get lost? Ari, who was leading the group, finally stopped when we reached a place where the path diverged into several corridors. I think this is a good place for me to start searching, but this may take some time. Understood. We'll coordinate with the other teams, spread out a little, and continue to look on foot. I leaned over to Vaughn as Caleb started talking into his comm link to the other teams. What's going on? Alien circuitry runs throughout this place. We're not even sure how much of it is machinery, rather than just static structures. Some technology down here reacts to psi. Ari's clairvoyance is strong enough he can tell where it's safe and where it isn't. Oh, that's pretty useful. He's the only one who can use his psi to search down here safely. If the rest of us try to expand the sphere to start looking for the intruders, we may activate something we don't want to. I wasn't aware relics were sensitive to psi energy. We aren't sure why that's the case. We just know it can be dangerous as hell to activate anything related to the Aryans. I wonder if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Some early discovery teams were lost for that exact reason. It's also why any exploration and research moves pretty slow. Having finished speaking with the others, he joined us. Since Ari can control the shape of his sphere, it's easier for him to look around down here without doing anything dangerous. But generally, use of psi is restricted, just to be on the safe side. We'll be splitting up with Mara's team here and heading in this direction. Morgan, stay close. Got it. The rest of us parted ways, leaving Ari to search on his own while we continued to do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, I don't want to leave Ari by himself. I'm worried for him. If they're really down here, how exactly are they expecting to find their way out of the city from here? I'm not sure I could even find my way back the way we came. Mapping of this place started even before any official nations were established on Arcalis. Everyone had access to the first exploration logs. After that, there was a large joint effort to get a more precise mapping of this place. Some of it was done with imaging technology from above ground. Some was put together manually by teams down here. Either way, New Albion, Endgame, Cirne, Afra, we all contributed and we all shared data. So if Gina's team is working for New Albion or the Triad, they probably have a map, which means they could have already found their way out. So, hang on, I just want to take a second to pause to make sure that I'm understanding why Gina and everyone came down here. So they came down here to get out of the city without being caught because they've got those shields up, right? I don't think they'd have been able to make their way out of Brazil on foot in this amount of time. But we need to find them fast. I don't think they'd have a reason to go to a lower level. Wait, there are levels? Oh, Caleb, you should not have said that around Morgan. Her curiosity is already killing her. 10 of them, to be exact. Oh, wow. More in some places, less in others. This complex is over 10 stories, and it goes under the entire continent. I mean, hopefully the end of this route involves something with Morgan being able to come down here and study them, because I do feel for her. Like, this is where her heart is, you know? Like, this is exactly what she's interested in. And, be so close yet so far away has to be difficult for her. More or less. It's not one massive unit. It's almost like a city in and of itself. There are pockets of land with nothing underneath. Really? Some parts of it have collapsed as well. Still, that's impressive. Yes, we know. It's impressive, yes, but I was going to say that's worrying. Yeah, I agree, Morgan. This place is 10 levels deep and continents wide. How are we going to find them in a place this huge? They have to be somewhere under Brazil, and they're trying to get out. They won't be on the lower levels. You can't be certain of that. What if they brought 3 weeks of rations and are hiding out on a lower level, waiting until we've stopped searching and the Legion can't maintain their shield? Then we won't stop searching until we find them. Given the size of this place, finding them all on foot didn't seem likely. Hopefully Ari could be much more thorough with his searching. We walked for a long time, passing a few corridors, in front of which Caleb would stop to listen. One of the useful things about being a rook was that his psi was internally focused, so he could enhance his senses without worrying about activating the alien technology around us. Ah, that's an interesting detail. I still had doubts we would find them this way. If I was Trent, what would I do in this situation? Try to find my way out as fast as possible? Or find somewhere to hide and wait out the search teams? An unknown person. I stopped and looked back over my shoulder, certain I just faintly heard someone call my name. Morgan? Did you hear that? I didn't hear anything. It sounded like someone calling my name. I know this place is creepy, but don't start getting jumpy on us. I'm not jumpy, and I don't feel like this place, and I don't find this place creepy. I wanted to study places like this for a career. Not Edian specifically, but you know what I mean. Fair enough, but if anyone was nearby, I'd have heard them first. Maybe. You mimicking my skills right now? No. Then I'm certain I'd have heard it first. He had a point, but I had definitely heard something. We started walking again, but this time all my senses were on alert. I had not imagined that. Caleb and Vaughn began to quietly discuss which way to go while I listened. Below their quiet voices was the soft hum of circuitry and... Okay, so here's this unknown person again. I whipped my head around when I heard the voice again. A flash of images hit me square in the, mind. Ew, Gina and Trent. Was he restrained? Sorry, my dyslexia is acting up. What? My spirit instantly enlarged. Almost against my will, and certainly against all warnings. I could see a clear image of Trent kneeling over. There were people around him. More than one. Gina. Some others I didn't recognize. An injection. They were giving him an injection of some kind. Trent lifted his head, and it was as if he was looking right at me, though he couldn't be aware of me. His eyes. Help, Morgan. I snapped back into myself with a gasp to find I was doubled over with Vaughn and Caleb both supporting me. What the hell was that? What did you do? Didn't we tell you not to use your psi? Caleb, calm down. I wasn't trying to. What was it? A premonition? I'm not sure. I don't think I was seeing a future event. More like a mix of something that already happened and something happening now. Post-cognition? Maybe some kind of psychic echo? I have no idea. What did you see? Trent, Gina, others? I couldn't tell for sure how many. I think someone was trying to reach out to me. I think it was Trent, and I think he needs help. Reach out, like, telepathically? That's what I'm like. Does Trent have powers? They gave him an injection. I could still hear the voices in my head. A quiet, echoing whisper. I tried to filter them and figure out what they were saying, but I could only catch snatches of information. I think it was the same thing used on the espers found on Sira, the burnout victims. They may have been trying to simulate some sort of psi response in Trent. But why? Where are they? That's what we need to know. Oh god. I have to say, from what I remember, Caleb is, a lot more... never mind, I take it back. I was gonna say I think he's a lot more patient on his route, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that's true. I shook my head. Reality kept fuzzing out as images of Trent and the others bled into my mind. Morgan. The sound of my name seemed to reverberate inside my head. I flinched and transformed grew crystal clear within my sphere of awareness. Oh, I feel so bad for doubting him now. I homed in on him, because, like, clearly he's here against his will, like they kidnapped him or something. His location popping into my mind like an automatic response. I think I know where they... Morgan, wait! And then they were gone, and I was stumbling out of a wormhole right into a man I didn't know. Fuck. They both look so surprised. Damn it. I staggered backwards, trying to keep out of his reach. Fortunately, he hadn't been expecting me. I tried to keep my balance as I sidestepped his startled lunge at me. That had not been intentional. Yeah, no shit. The accidental teleportation thing. I was beginning to see why it was such an issue. I hope we didn't set off anything in the alien runes. Disoriented, I struggled to get my bearings, but someone grabbed me from behind. They twisted my arms behind me and shoved me to my knees before I could even work out what was going on. I realized I wasn't alone on the ground. Trent was nearby too, just as I'd seen him, restrained, slightly out of sight. Okay, I think this is not the best place to pause it, but based on how the previous scenes where there's been action like going on have gone. I have a feeling this isn't going to be like a one and done sort of thing. So let's go ahead and save it here. At least Trent is still alive, so hopefully we can rescue him. But like, you know, Caleb and Vaughn are going to be so pissed. she just like up and teleported out of there without a warning to either one of them. So yeah, we'll deal with the fallout from that later. Anyway, I do hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time.